Basically, the shows I do are structured so that it not only entertains people, but it opens their minds to what is possible and the potentials that they have. 99% of the time, that's the person's belief.
Yes, the
that
belief.
is causing that physical change. You know, we know under hypnosis, people can sweat if you tell them they're hot.
Yeah,
Or get goosebumps if you tell them they're cold. Our minds change our physical body.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ambition Meaning Success. I am Jesse Dawson, this is Jason Varga, and he's joining me to kick off this awesome episode. It's going to be very different, very interesting. Jason's a mentalist in Melbourne, has been for a lot of years. He's a solo act and also runs a development class, and he does a lot of group things, part of the mentalists, and it's him and Joel, is that?
Yeah, Joel.
Joel, yeah. And they do awesome stuff. I've been to many of their shows and they are mind-blowing, absolutely awesome stuff. So, to kick it off, how are you doing, by the way?
Good, really good, yeah.
Excellent.
Can't complain.
Excellent. So my first question for you is, let's let them know what you do. What is it that you actually do?
Okay, so, on one end of the scale, psychic entertainer, mentalist, basically providing demonstrations of psychic abilities, hypnotism, what we used to call mesmerism, energy work. Basically, the shows I do are structured so that it not only entertains people, but it opens their minds to what is possible and the potentials that they have.
That's really cool. I think that's awesome. And that's a lot of what I do as well. I'm all about working with unlocking the potential within people that they may not see themselves. It's that cold inside that they've got.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And on the other end of the scale, from the shows, I have my clinical work, I guess you could call it. Clinical hypnotherapist, psychotherapist.
Oh, yes.
Working with clients one-on-one to help them in life. It could be intuitive counselling, it could be through hypnotherapy.
Yeah, and you've been doing that. How long have you been doing that for? Forever and ever.
20 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, excellent. So you could say you're a bit experienced in the field. Yeah, love it. All right. So how did you get into the field and where you've gotten to now? Like, give us some backstory.
Oh, that's a long story. Well, I guess as a kid, I always sort of knew what people were thinking. That was the main weird part for me, which made me become very introverted, away in a corner with drawing and whatnot. A very strong link, I believe, between creative people and natural psychic ability.
Yeah.
Then our education system teaches us normal ways and what's normal ways of communicating. So for a very long time that was sort of dampened. Later in life, when I started studying hypnosis and psychology, I was basically hiding my abilities in plain sight by presenting magic shows.
Yeah.
One such show I was doing for Visions from Beyond.
Visions from Beyond, yeah.
And Brett and Dawn sort of, I think they knew that I wasn't using tricks, and they're like, come and sit circle with us.
Yeah.
And for me, I can honestly say that was a life-changing period in my time.
I can relate to that very heavily as well. Yeah. Sitting in that circle was a very, very life-changing, like a pivotal point. Just came in, and then my life was totally different after that as well.
Not only did it help me accept who I was and what I could do, but it helped me control those abilities and extend and improve those abilities through meditation and disciplines.
Disciplines, yeah.
So that was a real turning point, to be able to come out of the broom closet, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, and how has it impacted your shows? Have your shows gone to a new level, or is it, or how's that?
It's impacted the shows on a couple of levels. At the time, I was hanging out with magicians because I was presenting the shows as magic, and I learned to do some card tricks and coin tricks and stuff like that. The more and more real I got, and the real stuff that I was putting in and getting rid of the magic, that's sort of what changed in the shows. I could go out and basically be naked and do a whole show with no props and whatnot. But also the audience changed. So the audience changed from people wanting to see a magic show,
see tricks,
to people really invested in it, and so the emotional content of the shows now. It's not just light entertainment. It's really connecting with people.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. I think that would be, especially as you said, coming in and learning the disciplines and doing that from Visions from Beyond, and then it is about connecting with you. And then when you connected with you and you started to step down and said, this is actually who I really am, all of a sudden all these people are like, yeah, exactly, you are really this, and they supported you on your journey. I think that's really, really bloody cool.
Oh, that was good.
That's really awesome.
Very good.
Alrighty. Yes, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've come across in your career?
I guess one of the main challenges was coming from the magic industry. At the time, and a lot of the people I hung out with were magicians. Large amount of magicians are the biggest skeptics. Was really only the ones that knew me, knew what I was capable of, had first-hand experience of my abilities that stuck by me. The rest just thought I was crazy.
Of course they would. I remember when I did magic when I was younger. I was pretty good at it too. I just didn't have the money to buy expensive props and all that kind of stuff to do real serious magic. And I was skeptical of everything. Anytime anyone wanted to show me a magic trick, I was like, all right, how's it done? And I was like trying to figure it out instead of enjoying the show. I've learned to let go of that now. And everything's much better.
And it's simple things like, being able to do it without anything that really blows magicians away. For instance, I mean, we haven't set anything up or anything. Think of a random zodiac symbol.
Cool.
Once you got one.
Got it.
Do you know how to spell this zodiac symbol?
I do.
Okay. Think of the word, but not in order, so I'm not following your lips or anything.
Good.
Just think of all the letters. Okay, stop, go back. There's an R in there. And an A.
There is.
It's not an I, is there? Yes or no? Is there an I?
There's an I,
Yeah. And an S. And an E. A-I-S and E. Aries.
That's exactly what it was. I had the little symbol in my head. That's really cool.
So
blow me away. Every time. You just mind boggle me every time. That's crazy. Continue on. How do you work?
Some of those challenges, and some of the challenges of working with skeptics, sometimes in the audience, that's someone that is really closed off, and being able to connect with that person presents a challenge. And sometimes you don't get it 100% because it's not a trick, it's real.
It's real, that's right. So, exactly. It doesn't have to make sense because it just is what it is.
Sometimes, things don't make sense. When you get the information, you go, oh no, that's crazy. I can't say that. But it turns out, I was at doing a gig for a 50th birthday party, and two unusual things happened. I was answering some unspoken questions. One of the questions was, who will be the next president of the USA? This was 12 months before the last US election.
Wow.
And I got Donald Trump, and I'm sort of like, so I gave it as I got it. I'm like, Donald Trump. And everyone else is like, all right. I wish I had been wrong about that. The other thing, at the same gig, one lady thought she'd test me, and her question was, how many cats do I have? And this is weird how sometimes the information comes to you. It was an open plan house. I looked up, there was a clock that had obviously broken or stopped, and it had stopped at 4 to 10.
Yeah.
Straight away I turned around to her, I said, you've got 4 cats, but you have 10 animals because you rescued them. And she was floored because I was absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's so cool.
From a broken clock.
However it came to you. That's really cool. I remember one time I was at a show with you, and you passed out some paper and told people to write some stuff on it, put it in a box, and you pulled it out and then figured out what was on the paper and did that. And I remember you had this one, and you were talking about this smiley face. And it had like you had this. It's this smiley face. All I can see is this smiley face, and it's spinning. I don't understand what the spinning is. And eventually we got to the point where it was a record label.
Yeah.
And it was called Happy Face Killers or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. Like, it blew me away as well. It always does. Every single time. Well, is there anything else that you want to share? Any challenges other than those that in the industry?
In the industry, I guess it's just, it's very up and down. It's one of those industries where one week you can be riding high and going, yes, everything's going well. And then all of a sudden there's there's no calls. And ultimately, I'd love to make it my full-time profession.
But, of course.
I think I'd love to be working in a clinic or a centre with other like-minded practitioners that all have the same goal: help people, help raise humanity's consciousness.
That's it.
That would be awesome.
With a bigger picture,
And that's I try to open as many minds as I can, and I actually love getting skeptics in the audience.
Yeah, that's it.
Because 99% of the time they go away going, holy cow.
Yeah, that's right. That's really cool. That's whenever if I do some stuff with like some sort of phobia bust or a scramble or something like that, and they don't think it's going to work, and I'm just like, well, let's just work through it, and we'll see if just follow my steps, and if it doesn't work, you just end up where you are now. So just follow it, just do exactly as I say, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then when they get to the end and it works, they're just blown away. They're like, oh my god, I didn't even think it was going to work.
Yeah,
and that's the best one because you're just like, yes, I know. It's how cool is it?
And the human mind is capable of so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely, so much. Beyond what we think we're capable of.
Yeah, working with I run a small circle, and the girls in the circle are just amazing. They're just raising every time, and we were talking about self-talk the other day, and I was having them do some telekinesis, moving objects in their hand, turning keys in their hand and things like that. And one girl's sitting there, she's going, I can't do it. I'm like, yeah, you'll never do it.
You'll never do it.
Tell yourself you can't do it.
Exactly right.
You're programming yourself.
Right. That's what we covered that off in one of my episodes on language, and it's exactly that. It was like if you say you can't do it, if you say like can't earn $1 million, well, you're never going to earn $1 million. You just said you can't.
Exactly.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. You don't limit yourself with your words and what you tell yourself.
Exactly. We program our subconscious mind so easily.
Right. Okay. Let's check out now another question. What are some of the craziest things that have happened during your shows or just during your journey?
Oh, look, there's always something crazy that happens at my shows.
I figured there would be.
One of the funniest moments was actually I was doing a hypnosis spot for a corporate gig in Adelaide, and it was back in the early days before I'd learnt a few things, learnt to tell them they can't leave the stage area.
Yeah.
And I'd suggested to this guy, business guy in a suit, I said to him, you're in such a hurry to come up here tonight, you forgot to get dressed. And he's just bolted, ran off the stage, down the corridor, into the toilets. I'm all mic'd up. Had to run after him into the gents' toilets. Sleep, that's okay, you're dressed, not realising everyone in the hall could hear what was going on. It was so funny. But
I can imagine that. That'd be the most hilarious thing. And then when he comes back and he realises he's done it. That would be so funny. That'd be hilarious. Well, that's a good lesson learned, huh?
Yes. Sometimes the hypnosis shows have been quite out there, especially when I used to do the comedy club where they were calling for more and more bluer shows. That was interesting. But in the end, I just went, you know what? That's not me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, the elements of hypnosis I use in the shows now are more, not subliminal, but just show people what they're capable of.
Yeah, just showing the power of the actual tools.
One of the things I do is I get out a voodoo doll. I think you've seen the voodoo doll.
I think so. Yes, I think I have. Yes, I have seen the voodoo doll. That's pretty funny. That's a really good one.
The point is, it's not a real voodoo doll. I'm not performing it as a ritual with any intention in it. I'm just working on the person's belief system.
Yeah, that's right.
And showing them that if they're invested in this, that, you know, when I restrict its arms or make it, you know, hold its mouth, they can't talk or can't move. And then when I say to them, give yourself permission to talk and move, they're like, oh,
yeah, I can talk.
So I use some subliminal hypnosis in there.
And it shows you the power of, again, back to the human mind, of how beliefs, and when we believe something, how true it is in our reality, and how everyone's reality is affected by what we believe. Yeah. And when we have a certainty around something, whatever that certainty is and whatever that something is, it's 100% true. It's so real for the person. Yeah. And you can see when people are struggling in areas of their lives or struggling in, like, just whatever, you can see it's because it's something they believe is holding them back or is limiting them or whatever it is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I remember you tied the rope around the voodoo doll in the one I saw, and they were like stuck with their arms and legs, and then they're like, oh, hang on a minute, I can move. Yeah, it's all good. Because at the end, I think you wrap it up and you say, like, I actually wasn't doing anything with the doll, and you let them know that it's all you, and then they're like, oh, it was all me. And then they just come back to it. Yeah, that's really cool.
People freak out. I think one of the times I freaked some people out, actually, I went out the other night, and some people that had saw this, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, were still talking about it. I do some remote viewing, but I wanted to make it a bit more theatrical,
jazz it up a bit.
So I sat down, I said, is there any nurses in the audience? I had a nurse monitoring my pulse, and I actually stopped my pulse for an amount of time.
I think I've seen this too. Yeah.
And there was another nurse in the audience, one of the people that I met the other night, and apparently she's yelling out, it's too long, someone go up and slap him or something.
That's what you'd expect her to do. She's doing her job. That's really
great, freaking people out.
That's really cool. And that trick there probably would have taken you a long time to get a grasp on there. Actually controlling your actual body, because it's separate to your consciousness.
Well, again, it's the way it's our self-talk and belief. If we believe we can do it.
That's right.
And we expect it to happen, it'll happen. It's like the other day I was talking to someone about stigmata, and I had them concentrate on a word and hold my wrist, and we both concentrated on the word, and they removed their hand where they're holding tight, and in the folds of the marks of where they were holding tight, you could see this word appear.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
And I said to them, most people when they think of stigmata think of the religious stigmata. 99% of the time, that's the person's belief.
Yes,
that is causing that physical change. We know under hypnosis, people, can sweat if you tell them they're hot.
Yeah,
or get goosebumps if you tell them they're cold. Our minds change our physical body.
I know there's been some incidents in the hypnosis world where someone said something and their body's created that extreme reaction or whatever it is.
It's like hold amazing. This rock and then you tell them that it's a hot coal, and people have actually ended up with burn marks on their hands.
That's exactly right. Whoa, that's crazy. Thinking about it. And that's the power of the mind.
Well, one of the old standards is getting someone to eat an onion as an apple. Yeah. Now, normally, if you were chewing into an onion, you would be in tears.
Oh, it's not everywhere.
But I've seen people just crunk, 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 and actually eat it around like there's a corn. And not a tear.
Wow.
Anything.
That's amazing. That's it blows me away. It really does. It really blows me away. I know so much about how powerful the brain is, but when I hear these things, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing. Just throws me down the road around. Alrighty. So what do you have plans for your future? Where are you aiming right now in terms of your career and shows or wherever it is?
What? I don't plan for the future. I let life take me where it wants.
That's it.
I know a lot of people, they'll come to a psychic or, for intuitive counselling, they go, what's the future hold? It must be so great knowing where you're going and what your future is. I actually like...
Not quite that way.
Living my life and going, whatever happens, happens.
That's right.
As I said, ultimately, I'd love to be in a clinic or a centre somewhere with like-minded practitioners.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But, if it happens, it happens. I'm happy with the way my life's travelling, and I don't necessarily want to plan something, and have those strict plans because then I'm limiting myself.
Yeah, that's right.
I like it when the opportunities present themselves and I go, I can grab this, I can grab that.
Yeah, you can just go for it as it comes. And it's, the good way of that is the thinking of it that way is that when you're going through the motions of wherever you're going, and when something does come, you don't turn it down because you've got this other view.
Exactly.
It's just open all the way and you take them as they come. You look at each opportunity individually and go, is this a good idea? Is this not a good idea?
Yeah.
And if it is, you go, and if not,
it's like...
it leaves the door open.
It's negating creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly, I love it. I like nice language,
I mean, you tell someone in a reading or something that you will meet someone named George.
That's right.
They will go out and make it happen.
Yeah, they'll meet someone named George. And any other person comes along, Tom's,
They're
John's,
themselves.
anyone's, they just turn it all down because it's not that George that I was told.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing, I think, with humans. We often enjoy self-fulfilling prophecies because it's like a false certainty around a thing. And I know that you can go out and you can turn down all these things, and when you meet that George, and he's not a nice person because you turn down all the nice guys to look for this one guy, and you just turn down all this stuff, and I think in a way that would become a reflection of us because of what we're ignoring in the world.
Yes. And I think a lot of things work on that principle. Astrology, for instance, isn't used today like it used to be used in the ancient times. It's changed a lot. And, you tell someone, you're born under this sign, so these are the traits you have. They naturally end up with those traits because that's what they're told they have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is your toolkit, there you go. And they're like, oh, cool, and they grab hold of the tools. Yeah, it is exactly right. And I think that it's very limiting, especially looking at it in the star signs and like the horoscope sort of way. Because I think we have traits of all of them. It's not we're not just one. We can't just be one.
Exactly.
Sure, if you go deep into astrology and look at it from more of a traditional sense, it's a lot more truer.
Oh yes,
than what we've got now. What we've got now is like hocus pocus kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's really guideline, skimming the top. Yes. Really soft and not actually the actual true information. So I think what we've got now is it is more controlling, it's more limiting, and looking at it objectively, and you can pick out parts that you are actually going through and that serve you, because that's what it really comes down to at the end of the day. What's going on for you right now? I think that's really cool. Alrighty, so then where do people and the viewers get in contact with you, and what do you offer services? Just fire away.
They can look me up on Facebook. I have a personal page, but I also have my fan page, Jason D. Varga, psychic entertainer, hypnotist, or whatever it is. My webpage, ESP.2, as in the number, FER.com. They can get in contact with me via those two mediums.
Yeah, cool.
We've got a show with young Joel, who's been my protege since he was like 10. He's now 22, doing his own shows.
Yeah, cool.
So we're doing a 2-man show together where we challenge each other. I come on and do a bit, he comes on and do a bit, then we come on together and we'll do things like I'll ask someone for a $5 note in the audience, and I'll be up one end of the stage and I'm like, right, what's the serial number? And we really challenge each other. And
that's really
it gets fairly hilarious at times.
Yeah. I can imagine that'd be a very wild show.
Because we're always trying to one up each other. He'll pull out a driver's license from someone and go, right, what's their driver's license? And we just keep on going like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We've got a show coming up.
And are they fairly regularly, those ones? That's
We've tried to make them fairly regular. We've had a couple of parlour shows where we've trialled it for people to, hire us for birthday parties or whatever. It's like a small, intimate, for say 20, 30 people, parlour type show. So we've actually done those in a house.
I think they're the best kinds of shows.
They are. It's
intimate
really
ones,
intimate.
Because you can get really deep into the show instead of being so broad to an audience.
And eventually, we're going to turn it to the corporate centre, sector, should I say?
That'd be good.
And make it a part of a motivational type thing that this is what you can be capable of.
Yeah, this is like what the human body can do, what you can do. Yeah, that's really cool. I enjoy that. I'm all aboard from that one. That's really cool. That's what the corporate sector really needs, I think.
Yes,
a bit of a lightness. And
make it entertaining and that, but at the same time, have people go, crikey, if I really put my mind to something.
I think this is possible. Exactly. So is that, and what about your solo shows? Do they just get in contact with you through your media?
Contact me through the website or Facebook. The solo shows, probably 70% of what I do is corporate. So I don't do a lot of public sort of things. It's always that thing. I've got to get bums on seats. I've got to hire a hall. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. So the corporate shows are really good. Walk in, do the show, walk out. No stress.
That's it.
But birthday parties, not kids parties. I'm not a kids entertainer. Corporate shows and private parties, psychic dinner parties are a big thing.
I know they're huge. They're massive. It's like a Tupperware party for psychics. It's excellent. It's really cool.
Get a bunch of people together, have some niddlies, have a few drinks, and be entertained by a psychic.
That's the best. That's the best. Yeah, really cool. Is there anything else that we've missed here that you want to share or anything like that?
Not sure. Okay. Well, let's think about what we're talking about with language. We'll try this out.
We'll try this language specialist. Yeah.
Again, it may not work. Okay. But let's say I have got a coin here, and you're not allowed to move. This is all in your mind.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to toss you this coin, and you have to know which hand you've caught it in.
All right.
Okay. Cool. So I've tossed you the coin. You've caught it in one particular hand. Now, in a moment, you get to make, like the old which hand it's in, you get to make a series of 3 moves. It could be like, whether you stick in one hand and move. So it could be like stick, stick, stick. Could be like stick, stick, move, move, stick, stick, move, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so figure out where you want the coin to go and make your move. With that series of 3 moves.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So now it's in the left hand, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, again, figure out where you want the coin to be, make your move again. Okay, you kept it in the left hand.
Yeah, I did.
Yep. 2 out of 2 ain't bad. 3 out of 3?
Oh, okay, here we go.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's back in the right hand.
Oh, you're so good. You bloody got it. You got it.
I tell you what.
I was contemplating whether to keep it in the left hand. I was like, is he going to go for the left 3 times?
I tell you what, though. Visually, think you've got that coin in your hand.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the date on the coin. So 1990s to 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Visualise the date. Okay, think of the first digit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a 1. So it's in the 1990s. 97?
Oh, spot on. Absolutely. Bloody. That's crazy. You're just so good at this.
That was actually... they restricted your choices.
Oh, right.
And made you think what I wanted you to think.
Of course you did. That's very... Yeah, of course. it was very like, inside the box choices. That's really cool. I definitely want to continue learning about language. It's something that I'm very fascinated with right now.
I do have a workshop coming up.
Oh yes, tell me.
Which is doing remote viewing, psychometry, a little bit of everything. When I do my question and answers, I cheat because I remote view a few days beforehand what the questions are going to be, and then I'm using psychometry when I'm holding the closed questions, so I get a feel for what question that is.
Yeah.
So I sort of know a little bit ahead of time what sort of questions I'm going to get, and then I get that, connection with the person that's written the question. The workshop will be covering remote viewing, psychometry, language patterns like that. Basically mind reading.
Yeah, mind reading.
Whether it starts with contact mind reading or non-contact mind reading. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Blows me away. It does. It really does. I love it. So when was that workshop, did you say?
It is in November.
Check dates.
Some psychic I am. I can't even remember dates.
There are a lot of them.
It will be the 4th of November. It's like a full day workshop, just really full on.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are interested in any of those, if you don't get in contact with Jason, you can get in contact with me, and I'll put it over to Jason, and then we can organise you into those workshops and things. And if you need to get in contact, just let me know, and let him know. Either way, it works. We all look after each other.
Cool.
And it's been a bloody pleasure with you on the show. And I'm not sure when this will be out, but you'll see it when it comes out. They will see it when it comes out. And
people will get tagged in it.
You'll get tags. There'll be tons of tags. And thank you for sharing and a bit about you and your journey and some of the things. I trust they got a lot out of this. I trust you got a lot out of this from this convo. And until next time, we will see you later on. This is going to be the one. I'll just put a little note on the video and say, we had some terrible camera issues with this episode.
Too much energy in the room.
It was way too exciting. Camera booked out.